Howdy, we are walking up to the hang glider spot. I don't have a link yet. I want to wait a bit. I'll put a link up later to join the StreamYard, but for now, we're just going to take the nice slow walk up. Should take about half an hour to get up. It is sunny, but you can see the clouds are starting to roll in. I think it went up to, what, 64, 65 today? It was pretty cold. Sorry about the bouncing around. I do have it on the old phone stand thing, but I didn't put a longer stick on it, so holding it up to where it's not comfortable again. Unless I hold it closer to me, then I won't see the chat as well. I did bring the other camera, the other phone, and we'll be using that for the sunset on the viewpoint. But I thought I'd start off with this one for the hike up to the hang gliders. I can't remember the technical name for the hang glider spot, so I just named it the spot, man. I guess I could hold it out like this. This is pretty good. So tomorrow I gotta pull out. So while I'm streaming the sunrise in the morning, I'd probably be packing up some things inside too at the same time. Because I'll be able to watch the chat and do that. Then I'll make my bread. And then I'll pack the camper up and we will pull out. But yeah, I won't show all the packing up stuff. I'll just show the sunrise. Good morning, Chris. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably be here for a couple hours. It's 5 now. The sunset should start around 7:30-ish. So I should still be on. It's going to take me half an hour to get up to the hang glider spot. Half an hour down. All right, we'll see you in a bit. So if you could see where the cell towers are between the trees, that's where we're heading. Probably see it better once I clear some. Oh, for the heck of it, let's stop at the... Yep, I'll be careful. I always at least 5'3" from the edge, so if I fall, I'm not over. So we'll peek at the viewpoints as we go past. Or the viewpoint. Yeah, the other one's on the way to the hang gliders too. Yep. My hand doesn't cramp up before then. I really need to learn how to get that image stabilization thing going on. Blowing my hood off. I hope it's not too windy in the mic, but I can't cover it right now. Check that out. You can still see snow on Flagstaff Mountains. Hopefully it's gone in 3 weeks. that's where I'm headed. So to the far right here, that probably is closer to Camp Verde out that way, because that's Sedona where the red rocks are and Flagstaff with the mountains. So, but it's actually Cottonwood and below us. All right, we're going up to those cell towers. That's where the hang glider is. I should have put the pole thing on this. Just didn't have the hand strength to bend the little end to get into it. I've got my winter coat with me. I've got my sleeping bag with me. I've got the flashlight because this is the spot where we're going to watch the sunset after the hike. So I've got flashlight to get up to the campground, which is like right over that tiny little hill, but I'll walk the gravel. It's safer. Don't want to run into surprise a critter. I thought about going down to the lake too, but I was just really tired. You put a sweater on and take it off 5 minutes later, put it back on another 5 minutes later, and do that with the windows all day. You get tired fast. It just got warm and cold. Could not find an in-between. I still have not heard about camp hosting. I may end up calling them again just to get some kind of answer, because I do know at one of the campgrounds they have no camp host. They keep losing them, probably because most camp hosts applying for jobs aren't really set up for dry camping. They're hoping for amenities when they camp. And so at this one campground, there isn't amenities, which is great for me because I've dried camp and really don't take much of a drive to go get water. And I have a bunch of containers for water. Oh, here, let's show the road. Sorry. That's a little hill I had not climbed before. I wonder what it overlooks. Probably the other viewpoint. But I think I attempted it once and it gets really rugged in one spot, and I turned around and said, not for me. All right, here's a good example of an alligator pine, y'all. Let's get a little closer. Its skin is very much like an alligator. Well, the sun's shining right at it. I love those trees. Oh no, that's just a branch. I thought it was a squirrel. I have not seen squirrels. Not like I used to up here. It's kind of odd. It is a nice hill to climb. It'll be easy coming down, but I'll probably run out of breath going up. This camera's not too bad. Doesn't catch the sunset and sunrise colors like the Apple does, but it's really not bad. So we'll find out tomorrow if I get a check. That will give me another $50 a month survival if they shut me down. So good news on that. We'll know for sure tomorrow. Plus, I got a little bit of a gift for my B-Day. So if anybody, ooh, I'm already out of breath. Oh, look, there's a bird. I'm catching it, I think. If you caught Mechanic Eric's stream last August, or no, it was July or August, he came up to visit. We went to the hang glider spot then. But for those who don't know Mechanic Eric, I'm going up to show it again. Oh, I'm finally warm. Probably should have hiked earlier. Well, I was ready to go about 10, but nobody else. Either they left super early or they didn't go. I didn't bother to ask. I'm like, it works out when it's supposed to. That's all I care about. All right, so this is the lower viewpoint. We'll go down that, and then we'll go up that way, up to the hang glider. So if you're disabled and a senior, you can use day use for free, and you can camp half price. So the normal day use fee is $5 to vehicle, and right now Mingus Mountain is $10 a night if you have a senior or a disabled pass. The disabled pass is free, by the way. Then you can camp for half price, which is the only reason I was able to stay up here for 2 weeks this turn. I was going to have to go down to the Dispersed, which is a rugged, bumpy road, because we took that road yesterday. I don't know how noisy I want to be. It looks like there's a couple people down here already. But we'll do a quick look over, and I'll show. Oh, the moon's out. I don't know if you could see it in the camera or not, but it is out. $106. If I get to come back out here this year, we will hike one of the smaller trails. But I couldn't show the cabin hike. We really don't want looters and to do worse than they've already done now. So that, I mean, I'm sure somebody tried to publish it, but we did find out one group tried to, but they were a mile off. And it ain't easy searching that mile to figure out where. Maybe they went on a hike because I'm not seeing them. All right. When I worked the camp, I used to come up here on a regular basis. I just love overlooking this stuff. As you can see, it's a pretty big fall down there. Look at all that space. All that green and trees, that's all wildlife. And it's all around the mountain area. And given that I haven't seen too many critters, I don't think they're having to come out for food as much. They're finding what they need where they're at. But yeah, I can lean on this big rock. And we'll peek down there. That's a bit of a fall there. You could break something. All right, let's head up. I want to get too dark before I get back to that upper. Oh, you could see the upper viewpoint from here. That little bathroom in the woods, that's where it's at. All right, let's go up. Hey, Charlene. Good evening. Yeah, one of my favorite places. So when I drive to Wilhoit Friday afternoon, I'm just going to video it. I don't want black spots from the stream losing my signal. So I'm just going to do a video and not go live. Luckily, the music I'm playing, I have permission to play. So I can play music when I'm driving this time to keep me awake, since I won't be able to visit on streams to do it. Someday we'll be streaming live the drives. But this is such a beautiful view, I just really rather you get to appreciate the view. Whew. Okay. Probably take me about 20 minutes to get up this hill. Yep. I don't know how long it'll take me to get set up when I get to my destination. She has a really small spot to squeeze me into. I'm hoping I don't have to get into it the first night. Hoping I can just park. There's a lot of flags I noticed in this area. I don't know if they're getting ready to put electric in, or I don't know. It's just kind of odd. Blue flags and pink flags. It's usually when you want to dig, they put these flags up. That was a weird shape. It looked like a bear face at first. Man. Here, the vehicle, I don't know if it's coming up here. I'm turning. It's coming up here. Let's move off to the side. Stack of barbed wire just sitting there. Yep. Oh, nope, I'm good. Sorry about that. That's pretty loud. There's a lot of firewood up here. I think the Forest Service had thinned some trees out and left them laying, so people are getting up here and gathering firewood. No, right now I'm heading up to the hang gliders. I had to wait for that noisy truck to go past. If you look down through the trees, well, maybe not at this level yet, but we'll be able to see the church camp below. I wanted to do a tour of the camp, but I just ran out of energy and time. If I get to make it back up here. For $5 a night, I might be able to do 1 or 2 nights on my way back down from Flagstaff. But I could certainly do more if I get that camp hosting job. I mean, they don't pay, but it's a free spot, so I don't have to drive around. Okay, you can see some cars through there. Maybe, if you got a big screen. They also have a zip line at this camp. It's a great retreat center. They have a challenge course altogether. It's ropes, zip line, archery. They have group fishing license. You can fish at the quote lake, unquote. It's more like a pond to me, but oh, here we go. What I see down there looks like handrails to steps, which I don't remember them having before. So, if you have a group that needs a place to retreat, fairly good price, excellent service, cabins on top of a mountain. How much better could it get? It's a United Methodist camp, so in the summer their school age gets priority. So for about 4 weeks, they really don't have many other groups in, 4 to 6. But after that, they have lots of groups in. And it's only $5. Well, no, that's the campground. That's not the church camp. The church camp's a little bit more because you're staying in a cabin, using their electricity and getting off all your meals, plus all the coffee and cocoa you want. And they serve family-style dinners, too. So fun. They get a diabetes camp up here every year. I don't know if they still continue it, but we had to do portion cups for everything. That was probably the hardest work week I did up here. Yeah, $5 for the campground's cheap. But the United Methodist Retreat camp's a bit more. But it's only $5 a night if you have the senior pass or the disabled pass. It's normally $10, and that's still a killer deal. Because if you go to the other state forest, it's $14 and $18. I think Lynx Lake is $18. I think Lower or White Spar is even more. They have you hookups though. Oh, here we go. Nice clear spot. We can look down. Yeah, can't really see anything. All right, there's a building through those trees. The zip line is behind that building, coming down from that little mountain hill, whatever you call it. It's all one mountain, so that would be a hill. I still got to put together my pictures from the cabin that I took years ago with the cans and the pans and all that stuff still there. Really sad I didn't go inside and get pictures of the tools. But you can't go back in time yet. Joking. All right. See you in a bit. Oh, look, there's seating. I think that's an outdoor chapel. There's a cross by that tree, too. Interesting. They actually have an outdoor chapel closer to the food hall with nice cement benches. But they also have a fireplace in their food hall, and you can actually do your meetings there with the fireplace. And I think all the cabins, as long as there's not a no burnout, you can have fires in the cabins too. You can see burnt trees occasionally along the way, like that one. Those are from lightning strikes. We get a lot of them up here. I know, I'm too fast with the camera. There we go. I gotta slow down with it. I get so anxious that I just forget to slow down. So we get to walk past all these cell towers. It does make my head hurt a little bit, but it's part of the trip. Wow, they cleared a lot of trees right here. Probably from that tree that's burnt there. They probably had a strike and had to hurry up and cut them down, prevent the fire from growing. They'll do that if it's just smoldering, because a smoldering fire could pick up, so they'll cut the stuff around it so it doesn't go up. Is that a deer that I'm seeing? Maybe not. That's probably a sign. I'm blind. I can't see very much without my glasses. And I put them on my face to read, and I'll put them on the drive when my eyes are kind of blurry that day, but I mostly can't stand stuff on my face. And the noisy truck's turning around and coming back down. And there we go. A forest of cell towers. I forget which ones are the 5G, the circle or the post. I know that the long poles are the extenders. He's going like a bat out of hell. Hey. Thanks for the dust, dude. That wasn't the noisy truck. Thought it was. So they have a campground up here, and I think it's some hang gliders association that you got to be a part of to camp. I don't know if you can see the moon or not. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cell towers that I see so far. There's some on the other side of this mountain too. 11, there's another one hiding with extenders. They have their own water tank up here for the Hang Glider Association. Got danger signs all over it. And look how close the fence is to this one by me. It's hilarious. It's like right by the fence. As if staying that little 6 feet away from there is going to make a difference than from here. I think it's kind of funny, actually. Well, there's another cell tower I didn't see before. Yep. There we go. They did a lot of clearing. Look at that. Holy cow. Some porta potties out here. Kind of odd. Oh, that's probably out for the guys that were cutting the trees down. And they do clear it every once in a while like this. That's what keeps the forest fires down. Cause I have a lot of tendency for forest fire out here. They do a good job. I've never had to run down the mountain with the fire, even though they've gotten a few while I was up here. Not this time, other trips, but yeah. Entering Hang Gliding Association. Special use camping authorized for current members only. So yeah, I was right. I guess the person with the house runs it. I'm not going to jump off a cliff just so that I can camp up here. Why would you jump off a perfectly good cliff? So yeah, their campground is kind of empty right now. It is chilly. I don't see anybody hang gliding in this kind of cold weather. I think in the fall they have a hang gliders event where a bunch of hang gliders go off and it looks like a flock of birds. It's so amazing. I would love to video that if I had the chance. We'll see. Who knows what will come in the future? Never know. Oh, more cell towers hidden. I didn't notice those before. Wow. Wow, they really have to keep the barbed wire out just to keep people from climbing cell towers? I guess there's silly people everywhere. Hey, J-Pull. No, not going to jump off a perfectly good mountain. I don't fly, despite what Peter Pan says. We got noisy truck dude up here. Anybody who lets their dogs run without a leash at a campground with other dogs annoys me. And the dogs don't have a leash right now. Hi. Day use only. So I couldn't come past here to do a sunrise because I'd have to go through the association, which is private property. So I'm debating a sunrise tomorrow. I should do one. But being that it's so cold. No, no, no. No. At least I knew not to raise my arms. Yeah. 70. This is higher than the fire tower, which is 43. There's the coordinates. Alright, sorry. I hope it's just the audio break up. Oh god, that's scary. Here we go. I'll go slow as I can in case it keeps breaking up. So don't like that way. You can't worry about that. Oh, you can sorry about that. You can see beyond it. Look at all that. It is. I have walk past. On the cliff, if you really want to see that, go find Eric Blunt. He came here to visit. He went to the edge. He had to do so. There's another spot I can go down over here. Go back. An option. I wonder if I can turn on recording. No, it will not let me. I can't go to the other spot. All the hours, I can't get a signal down that clearing past there. Can't even get a signal. All right, I guess we'll head down. 9. There are probably 15 cell towers I've found so far, at least on this side of the mountain. I'm right beside them, and I can't get the signal. Maybe they aim too high, and slowly people can't get it. Yeah. Let me put the link in now. Nothing's spinning, but can you hear me? Okay, we're back. Did I get the link in there? I don't know if I did or not. I'll post it again because I can't tell. There we go. All right. Yep. So I'm headed back down. We'll watch the sunset from the viewpoint. I think I'll just take my time walking down because I took shorter than I thought getting up here. I thought I wouldn't get up here till about 6. Oh, I wish I could have showed the other spots. It's a little frustrating. It sounds like somebody's chopping wood. But I think it's just the stuff rustling around in my bag. Brought my winter coat. I brought my sleeping bag. I brought my phone stand. I brought headphones. Brought everything I needed to last till the sun sets. And a flashlight to get back. That just looks so different with all those trees cleared out. Well, there's something big brown moving over that way. That'd be cool if it was a bear. Huh. You obviously don't want it. Bears are scaredy cats around here, unless they're super, super hungry. If you put an open jar of peanut butter in your tent, you may find one coming in. Otherwise, they're easy to scare off. In fact, they haven't even been around for a while. As long as it's nice and green, they ain't coming around. We get a lot of campers that just leave food sitting out overnight. I'm like, how do you guys get away with that? They obviously come on busy weekends and haven't been up. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see it. That tree stump, it's kind of shinier in the center. I wonder if I get in trouble if I go, yeah, I probably would. I'm not going to go trespassing, but that's very interesting. I can't zoom in, but supposedly if you're watching on a phone, you can zoom in. It's a lighter wood, and it's shinier than the other dark rings. And I forget what that means. I forget which years are the dry years and which ones are the damp years. But that's very interesting. That whole area is cleared out. That's just so weird to me. Things are always changing. I don't like change anymore. When we were young, we wanted to change the world. Now we're old and we don't want the young people to change the world. Now I understand my grandparents. We spent all that work trying to change things. And now it gets changed right behind us. Howdy, Cole. Thank you. I just was up at the hang gliders, but I couldn't go very far because the signal's crap, despite all the cell towers. There's about 15 of them, but I couldn't get a signal. Let me see if any of these tree stumps have the different color in the center. I think I can go here. It's not fenced off or anything. No, but I think I know what caused the other one to be shiny. If you look at it, you can see the sap. And they cut it down, the tree bled. Oh, this one has a ring in the center, you can see. It's visible. I'm watching for snakes. I highly doubt they'll be out tonight, but there we go. It's got a lighter thing in the center. And I can't remember if those were dry or damp years. But the climate was definitely different when these trees started growing than when they finished growing. And I'm not about to count all those rings, but let me show you. Maybe you'll freeze it, blow it up, and count them all yourself, but that's the rings. Oh. Yep, that was an old person stand up. But yeah, I'd have to look it up to try to remember if it's the lean years or the fat years. You can tell a lot about what went on in a climate by observing nature. A lot. And I found this guy, he's talking about tracing history through DNA. It's very interesting. He says he could trace generations back because certain Y chromosomes break off into different levels. And most of us can find a common ancestor if we go far enough back. So he's doing all this DNA research, and I am really interested in hearing what he has to say about it. Then I was watching the history of the Native Americans, the ones people assumed have been here since the start of time, actually talk about migration stories in their own history, which leads us to believe that they migrated from somewhere. And if you're a believer in the Bible, you know we all migrated from somewhere. Yeah. I think my daughter was one of them young people that hated change too. Oh gosh. They made one little change and it was hard for her to get her to do anything. She just struggled with it. And there's noisy loose truck dude again. At least those dogs didn't come barking at me. When they come barking, I don't care how friendly they are. It freaks me out. I've been bit 3 times. Each time was by a dog that has never bit anyone else. Apparently, I'm a morsel to a dog. I don't know how to say that. That just sounded wrong. Never mind. Scratch that. I didn't say it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm innocent. The power line's going down to the camp. The church camp, I should say. The campground, when I say just camp, that's the church camp. When it's a campground, that's the one on the top of the hill. There's the dogs again. Look at me overthinking about it. So those will take you straight down into the camp. I think avoiding the eye contact worked. Oh, look, you could see the fire that was burning in that tree. Another lightning strike. There's those ones out there that had a lightning strike. Not sure you could see them or not. Let me hold still for a second. There we go. Oh, I don't think we're going to see the moon much tonight. It's already... Is it going down or up? I can't tell. It's right in between those trees up there. I'm already hearing crickets. It's not even dark yet. You see, the theory we evolved from monkeys is backwards. We're turning into monkeys. Starting with some people's brains. No, you didn't hear that. You got to scratch that. You didn't hear a thing. I told you I'm innocent. Okay, my brains are scrambled, but I have a good excuse. They put me on pain meds for a long time for fibromyalgia. Then after 11 plus years of sheer torture, because they maxed it out as much as they could, they had me on 48 or not 48, 150 micrograms of fentanyl every 48 hours. It's supposed to be 72. And then they sent me to a new pain doctor. When I told them I wanted to come off of it, they were mad. And they sent me to a new doctor, and she went to take me off, and she's like, well, they're finding out with fibromyalgia that the pain meds actually cause more pain, and that's why they had to keep increasing it. So I spent all those years in torture for nothing. Do you have a backpack full of all the stuff you brought? No, I just put it all in the bag. It's not a backpack. But yeah, I have a bag. I'm planning on sitting at the viewpoint for the sun. Oh, look, that tree is still standing. Got struck by lightning. A few of them did. I don't know if you could see them. And you could see the campground for staff right through to the left of that burnt tree. I don't know if you could even see the burnt tree, but I wonder which one of those trees got struck by lightning when I was camped down there, because I know one of them did. Scared the poo out of me. Jumped half a mile. We didn't even know the storm was out there until the first lightning strike, and then it's like, oh, surprise. I guess because I was sitting inside. It was evening. I hear a dog barking. I guess the new camp managers down there have dogs. Huh. Somebody said to check with them and see if they could use volunteers. I'm like, I physically can't do that much volunteer work yet after waitressing. Still haven't gotten I haven't got my blood work results because they won't give them to me over the phone. The doctor that I saw isn't in on the days I'm going to be in town. They promised they'd find another one, but it's been a week and they haven't called me. I guess I'm making some phone calls tomorrow before I take off. And more burnt trees down there. Wow. They did quite a bit of clearing through here, too. It's a good thing you were inside. Yeah. More burnt trees. Oh, look. Let me see. Let me get stable footing. We could look at that one. Probably see that one. Boy, that one ripped it out by its roots and burnt them off. Wow. Do you have health insurance? I have access. That's what they give the disabled people. Access. I call it leftover medical care, but I really wasn't going to go to the doctor until I started having the heart issue. And then I'm like, what if it's something simple I could do? And I thought, well, I'll just go get the test done and find out where I'm at, see what I can do with homeopath, eating and exercising and such. But I've got to know what's going on. I do have a fear that I've progressed in the liver disease because the inflammation is still not down. There's another trunk. This one was interesting. It almost has a really interesting shape. Huh. Wonder why that is. It's kind of odd. I haven't been to a doctor except for this last visit since 2017. Actually, before that it was before I became a nomad. December of 2017, I walked away from my mobile home and moved into a 4-room tent with no vehicle. A month later, I built a structure that kind of resembles what I have now It was 3.5 feet by 7.5 feet and 3.5 feet tall, and I lived in that for 2.5 years. And then I built this one. I think 2.5, probably longer. I don't even remember. All the years of blurring. Does it have an online chart where you could check your med history? No. And they won't post the results of blood work if something's showing in them. They won't post the results of the blood work until you have seen the doctor in person. I was going to be able to do it in telehealth, but they just recently canceled the telehealth off my insurance, and I don't know if it's something they did for everybody on that insurance to cancel their telehealth, or they just did it because they don't like I'm Nomad. I tried to get into counseling, and when I said there's a possibility I'll be traveling out of state, they're like, well, we can't, as long as you're in the state, we could do the telehealth. But if you're out of state, we can't. So next thing I know, I called back to find out what's up with the doctor and why he didn't call. And they said, well, they canceled your telehealth. So, don't know. After your first camper build, the one you got now should, in fact, when I was building it, I kept saying it's a mansion. I did, it really, and it's still really big. I just wish I could get my stuff down. I need less stuff. It drives me batty because my truck bed's full, my truck cab's full because I like to keep the fridge in there. And then I've got stuff all over the top of the drawers. I need to narrow my stuff down again. I would like, oh man, would I ever love it, having a couple drawers in the truck cab, or at least some pull-out shelving. And I can put my Instapot and my rice cooker and some of my larger appliances out there, like under a cover in a drawer. And then I can pull them out as I need them, and I don't have to store them inside. And then I can have all my food in the other one along with the fridge, and then I can have a passenger seat again. So here we are back at the first viewpoint already. My first camper build, I didn't have any electronics. I just charged my laptop, was the only thing I needed to charge. And I had a 400 watts and four 100 watt panels, which got destroyed on my first day of the convoy. After I met them up in Casa Grande, we were driving to California, and the wind snagged it. I didn't notice that the washer had busted through the wood, and it pulled it up, and I was sailing. I thought I hit somebody, and I'm like, I swear to God, I was watching the road. And I look back, and there's no traffic behind me, and before there was traffic everywhere. But apparently they had seen the panel come up, and like a sail. And so it lifted the front of the truck up and slammed me back down when it slammed down on the others, and I had one panel left. Hey, reptile. So we're going back. Oh, it's getting colder. It's a viewpoint, the lower viewpoint of Mingus. They call them day use areas, viewpoints, whatever. Used to come up here with the camp dogs. In fact, I have a picture of, what was her name? Megan. Called her Maggie. She would come to my camper and crawl in with me. When it's raining or lightning, she would come in. She loved, and when I would go back sick or in pain, she would follow me back to camper and stay with me until it was, in fact, she passed up dinner one night to walk back with me. She was a special dog. I miss her a lot. But here, the viewpoint. There's the moon. Still don't know if you could see it or not. It's very faint. I don't even know if I'm aiming right. I can't see it in the camera myself. Look at all that wilderness, and this is just one side of the mountain. This is actually a whole mountain range in here. So on the other side, there's a lot of this too. No, I don't need a doggy. I would wake up and Maggie's hair would be in my face. I don't need a dog. I have considered sea monkeys. Okay, so there's a cave beyond this pinwheel thing. I don't know how young that person was, but I don't know when that happened. I was only here once last year. It had to have happened last summer because look at the blooms on that tree. And I really like this scraggly one. Can you hear all the birds and stuff? It's a moon. There's a picnic table way over there. That's where we're going to head to watch the sunset over the valley. It's only 6. All right, I went fast because I expected to get to go see more up at the hang gliders thing, but the signal lost. That's why we're really early. I didn't expect to be down here for another half an hour. So now I got extra time to burn. Maybe we'll do partial. Let's start down the 106 trail and see what it looks like there. Takes us along the mountain edge. What the heck? Let's do a little bit of the trail. So here we go. The 106. Please don't cut the trail. That means stay on it. So we're not going to cut the trail. Something was digging right there. For roots. No rain here. All I hear besides you talking is rain. Wow, 16 days. Do you normally get lots of rain, J-Pole? I mean, typically you don't have drought conditions. Because in Arizona, we've had a very wet season. And that's what El Nino is. The places that are drier get more rain. And I almost think it's linked with the Shabbat year. Because they didn't plant for 1 year, but yet they harvested. And Israel's a dry country. Very much like Arizona. Oh, look at those flowers. See if I can get close to it. I'm dumping my bag that's on my shoulders. Last 4 or 5 days. Oh yeah, all the weeds come up at once. They just waiting for that rain. The trees are starting to blossom. Oh, kind of hoping I get the camp host job so I can come up here. The camp host job will be in the Prescott area. If I get it. It's not really a job, it's a volunteer position. Oh, here we go. Here's more of the plant. There's its leaves. Find a snake. Yeah. They haven't come out. It's a little cold. It was only 41 this morning, and it didn't hit 70, so I don't see the snakes coming out today. If I get to come up here in July or August, there would be a lot more. And there's one that likes to hang out at the group camp. I would show you that one. Look at that. I just did a switchback here. This is interesting. So I'm closer than 5'3", the edge, but it's a short edge. We'll just be really, really careful. And there's another switchback, so if I slid, it'd be down there. When you leave a volunteer position, that's called volunteering to quit. Yeah, they can't post at the Lower Wolf Creek campground, and I'm not really sure why. Oh, look, it looks like a coin down there. I'm gonna see what that is. Oh, it's a dried leaf. That was interesting. It's a little bit shiny. And then we got stuff growing out of the rocks. This is cool, actually. I kind of like this little trail. I'm not going to look forward to going up if I keep going down. But we got a little bit of time. It does a lot of switchbacks because it's pretty steep. I mean, I just came from up there. Oh, I just read that. All right. So I can continue down the switchbacks, and it will probably take me all the way down. Or I could peek up here and see what's up here. Yeah, not going close to that edge. I'll hold the rock. Make sure it's a sturdy rock first. Yep. All right. There we go. Wow, that's really starting to blossom. That even has pink in the blossoms. Oh. All right. Holding the rock and behind it. Let's see if we can get that blossom there. There we go. I don't remember the names and stuff. Oh, there's a memorial thing here or something. It's got a light. Oh, look at that. Let me get close enough. She died in 2012. And it's got a solar butterfly lamp next to it. Cactus plant and a little hummingbird fell off. Here. Let's see. There we go. No. Superstition Mountain's about 100 miles from here. Okay, I am not going that way. This in loving memory tells me somebody went down here. So I'm not going that way. I'm going back. Woo. I have a terrible fear of heights. For somebody who camps on a mountaintop. All right. Let me see. I'll go down over to those rocks there and then I'll turn around, unless it gets scary. Oh, it's a lot of loose rock in here. Luckily, it's flat. I've done backpacking for many, many years, but I never did it on the edges. Okay, I'm stopping at this switchback, but I bet you I could take this all the way down. It just keeps doing switchbacks all the way. This is where I stop. I ain't too much of a chicken, but check that out. Yep, I'm a klutz. That's why I have the fear. When I was young, I didn't have a fear of heights. It was when I fell a bunch of times that I started developing a fear of heights. That trail really doesn't look that bad. I might, if I come back with a walking stick, I may do this trail next time. I don't know if that'll be this year or next year, but definitely need a walking stick because like you said, balance gets a little iffy. So I'm going back up. But I bet you that takes you all the way down. Oh, this is going to be fun. Pretty steep. You know what I need to do is find out what edible plants are in this area also. That's why these trees end up going over, because the dirt just washes away from their roots. Okay. Whew. Yeah, don't look over the edge. Look at that oak. They get thinned out naturally. Oh, here's the flowers blooming. If anybody knows what kind of tree that is, my memory shot. I don't remember. It's the falling part I fear. Yeah, it's the falling part I fear too. I guess if it can fly to plane, I'm not really afraid of heights. But knowing that I have a tendency to tip over isn't good. Wow. Look how the trunks bend as they're growing. Interesting. We've got this plant, which is really soft. There's a spider in there, I think. No, that wasn't a spider. It was just dirt. Darn. Thought I was going to get a spider view. I'm surprised I haven't seen any deer. Look, there's the sun through the trees. Wonder how far down in elevation I went. I'll have to get me one of them fancy compass gadgets that Sloan's got. He can tell the elevation and the coordinates, all that goody stuff. All right, let's head up to the upper viewpoint where we'll watch the sun go down. So I'm using the broken car phone holder part as a stick. But this is going to go in a conduit pole when I get to quartzite or a flat land, maybe, and Will Hoyt if I can fix it then. But it'll give me a 360. Oh, check this out. Anyone need some teeth? Take a bite out of crime. Look at that. Alrighty. We can go up straight up to the next viewpoint, or, which I think I'm going to do, is go down the hill and look at the church camp one more time. They may have deer in the field, especially since they don't have a camp in right now. I know there's some probably up at the fire tower, but I'm not going up to the fire tower again. If you were flying a plane, it would be the landing part I'd be afraid of. I was a pilot, and he actually made the local newspapers because he had to land the plane without the landing gear. And some guy who already had a broken leg was in pain after the landing, and that's about the extent of the damage outside of damage to the plane. But he landed it safely on their foam. Climb the tower. I did that already this week. Go back and look at the other live. I don't have time to climb the tower and come back down. Plus, Rick, who's But watching the tower up there will be, he's already down. So it's not even open right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking really loud. Try to get quiet in case there's deer in the field up here. Who's that guy on YouTube that has the highest number of viewers and he just does whatever the viewers tell him to do? He was like on a camping trip and he's showing them choices, his things he has, and they get to pick. Oh, there is. Nope, that's a rock. I thought that was a deer. If it was nighttime, I could catch the coyotes. I'm not seeing any deer. I could go up the Fire Tower Road, but you wouldn't be able to get a good view because that area is locked off. No, I'm not seeing any deer. Huh. They used to come every evening when I camped there. It would be fun to volunteer there, but I can't physically do the work I did there this year, maybe next year. But my indoor-outdoor thermometer is buried somewhere straight ahead past that little dirt road area. One of the dogs buried it. I'll tell you what I can do is I can go down to the lake. Pretty sure I could be back in time for the sunset. I did bring a flashlight too, so I'm good. There's no deer in there. And the little hill right there is where the coyotes like to hide out. One time I was coming back from the kitchen, it was dark, and all I saw was their beady little eyes all over the mountain. And I'm like, is this cool? No wonder the kids at the church camp are told to stay together. You hear stories of kids running off to have encounters where you don't want to do that up here because the coyotes are all through the parts that don't have buildings. Yeah. They have an outdoor chapel up there. I would love to do a tour of this place. Still got the sun. Not ready to set yet. That's the arts and craft cabin up there. There used to be a cabin on this side of the little hill that was for staff showers and their own private kitchen and thing. But it burnt down long before I came. That's the way up to the fire tower. And it's a good 200, 300 feet in elevation up that short little hill. Boy, they have no volunteer staff camping yet. Kind of odd. They should be getting their youth camps in this starting Friday. Although I don't see anything up. But you can see back there's some of the camp staff stays up behind the kitchen. That's where they park their vehicles. The zip line's in through there also. A lot of the kids that stay in the cabin are paid for their work for the summer. But the other volunteers are older adults and they get the campground and we just do the 20 hours, and if something's if we're having a rough day, we don't have to do it that day. It's kind of nice. Thought it was. I don't know how it is now. We got new camp administrators. There's a mini zip line. If you could see that tower, I wouldn't even do that one. I was such a chicken. But when they have a bikers week here, I think it's an AA bikers group. This entire area in the middle they fill up with the little bike campers and tents. That's a fun week to work. Slow hikers. Am I a slow hiker? Like slow children? Wow, that's yep, I'm present. I'm the slow hiker. There's water running out of this. That's kind of unusual. We normally don't have water coming out of there. I hear the bird, but I don't see it though. Trees flying. Yeah, he's not going to come out. There was a javelina that lived in this pond. You can't see this pond right now, and I'd be trespassing if I showed it to you. If I get to come back up here this summer, I'll talk to the camp administrators and see if I could do a tour of this place. They've got some pretty aggressive mice, man. They chew right through the honey bear jars that aren't even been opened yet. They know what's in it. It's kind of funny. I felt like what's that movie where he's chasing the gopher through all the golf holes? I felt like that. I declared war on them. You lost races against turtles. Well, I kind of was hinting at slow of mine. You know, when you read it. Never mind. It's a mean joke, I guess, to some. Look at all this fencing. I don't remember seeing all that before. Yeah, the sun's going down behind the trees, but I'm almost to the lake right now. So I miss this place when I'm gone. All this land in here belongs to the church camp. We go through it to get up to the rest of the forest land. I don't know how it ended up getting divided like that, but it's interesting. One way, do not enter. I'm going to break that rule and enter. You can see these two poles right here. There used to be water all the way out here. My very first year, there was water all the way out this way. But the old camp managers or administrators or whatever they call them, they said it goes through a cycle like that normally every bunch of years. It'll go to land and then it'll go back to being a big lake and then it just goes back and forth. Some of these people that come up here every year have been coming up since the 50s. And they've seen it go back and forth and back and forth. A bunch of people down here. I bet you they're fishing. Howdy's, Chris. How are you this evening? Yep, this all used to be water. It gets a bit muddy. We did have a lot of rain this year. Although we haven't had any in the last week or so. It's kind of swampy still. That's the lake over that way. I came to see if you were still alive. I got to go back to the Dollar General and grab a chaser. Okay, yep, I'm still alive. The sun's not going to be down for another half an hour. And then I might stay to see the colors over the valley. Even though it takes getting up at 3:30 to get ready for the sunrise. But I can nap after my drive down in the Prescott Valley. Probably get a good nap in. Oh, there's a little bird. Hope he doesn't fly away. He went under. All right, I better get up before people think I'm doing something to their car. That was cute, a little birdie. I don't know if you got to see him. Went dumpster diving. Found a bunch of vodka. That's interesting. We go dumpster diving up here on usually Sundays when people leave for the weekend. Some people totally throw all their camp gear away after a weekend of camping. I think it's funny. This is the veranda. Lake, look at all that dust. Somebody just drove up the road. All right. Let's go around the lake and get the reflection off of it. How's that? These are all gopher holes. We get band camp that comes up in the fall, and they have to fill all the gopher holes because it's no fun marching in a field full of gopher hills. Or holes. Okay, let's look over here. Bet you I could have done like a sunset over this. There's an iris of some type. Bed comforter? That's interesting. I'd be afraid to do that in the Phoenix Valley because they tend to get bed bugs. There we go. There's the sun reflection on the lake. And now I got a dog growling at me. I'm not moving. He's still growling. Okay, there he goes. Wendy, when you extend your arm in front of you and place your fingers between the sun, count 18 minutes. What? Per finger before sundown. Yeah. We'll see it go down here long before it actually sets because I'm on the mountain. It actually goes beyond the trees before. I just saw a fish jump. It's Purdy. Leave running here. I'm here I'm not here. Okay. I think the fish are coming to the surface to eat or turtles. There's some snakes around here, but it's too mushy to go around that way, and I'm not walking past that dog. All right. Besides, I want to head up to the viewpoint, get things set up so we can watch the sun setting over the valley. These crickets start before the sun's even down. I could show you the signs. We're in the Prescott National Forest. America's Playgrounds. To enjoy and protect and keep clean. There's Smokey. A smoky hat and a smoky belt and no shirt, dude. And we've got the Anglers United. Yep. If it wasn't a good dog, I probably would have been bit. He was at a standstill. I don't think he liked me holding my phone like this. And they have a place you can throw your old fishing lines and stuff so you don't end up with them in the water. I don't know. It's been a long time since I was fishing, so I never saw these until now. Somebody threw a diaper in there last week. Like, I don't want to be the person to have to clean that out. All right, so I got to go up past camp, up past the first viewpoint, get up to the upper one. Yep, he'd definitely take a chomp out of someone's ass if they tried hurting me. Hey, Carrie. Still groggy from this morning. I've been sleepy all day. I spent all day putting my sweater on, taking my sweater off, opening a window, closing a window, putting sweater on, sweater off. I could not even relax. So I got myself pretty wore out. Let's see if I missed anything else. No. But a sunset over the lake. I should have thought of that one sooner, except that's quite a bit of hike back. It's a half a mile back up the hill. And if I waited for it to set over the lake, it would be a little too dark by the time I got up to the campground. I don't like walking around when it's that dark. Not because of the critters, but because of humans. You get troublemakers up here sometimes. Howdy, Mona. Good evening. It's my last night on Mingus. J-Pool wanted me to jump off the tower. I'm telling on him. He wanted me to jump off the hang glider thing, too. Well, now it's 6:38. Where are you going next? I'm going to spend the night down in the valley in my truck cab for one night so I can get a free birthday slam on Friday. And Danny may be meeting me for breakfast. Somebody gave me some cash for my birthday, and I thought it would be really fun to be able to enjoy meeting a viewer I haven't met before. So that would be fun. If I don't do a sunrise Friday morning, I will do the meeting up with the viewer. I feel like I'm in better shape from working on the camper. Yeah, I do a lot of walking. Although, no, I do a lot of walking. Because I'm like, I didn't because I was working. And I'm thinking, yes, you did, because I waited tables. That was a lot more walking. I'm in great shape. That's why when I went to the ER, when I couldn't get the shortness of breath to go away, and he said, you're probably out of shape. I'm like, yeah, that can't be right. Because I walk miles a day usually, just doing my typical stuff out, and that's not even the hiking. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I did all this walking around with a broken tailbone for 2 years. Up to the fire. Well, I didn't get to go up the fire tower. My last video on the fire tower was my first time going up the actual tower itself. But I walked up to it, walked to the camp, up the campground, up to the sky hanger glide, and then a few other hikes on a regular basis up here. And the air being thinner, it was my way of getting ready for the rest of the year. After, wintertime, you slow down a little bit. It's easy for them to spend our money, Mona. For who to spend our money? Did I miss something? Oh, the debt ceiling bill passed. The House, which is first. So is it got to go through the Senate next, or did it already go through the Senate first? I forget the order offhand. If I'm sitting and digging into this stuff, I know it. But when I'm not active in it, stuff slips my mind. Okay, guys, here's the Camp Retreat Center. This would be an awesome place to do a Sukkot, to be honest. I wanted my friends to do that for Sukkot, but they're doing an Airbnb this year. Oh, that's sad. Sorry about that, Mona. And they wanted me to finish that mural the next year. Let's see, I worked up here. It was before the sea, and I was supposed to finish it in 2020 for them, but they got fired at the end of the season. And then the camp was closed that summer. But now they have new camp administrators, and they know nothing about that I was even going to finish it up. But I'm almost betting the girl who started it may volunteer up here occasionally. I'm just not sure why it's not finished. Yes to the Senate next. Okay. So now I can't remember which one has the majority of Republicans this time. Was it the House or the Senate? I mean, if this thing doesn't go through, they're just blaming Republicans. It's like, no, you didn't negotiate enough. I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't hit a glitch. I kind of suspect that it wouldn't go through and they'd call our debt. That was my sense of things, but I'm not always right. I'm not a future teller. I just guess. I did guess Biden would run again, or Kamala. And there he is, running again. Without campaigning. Maybe for old-time memory, he'll do one from the basement. Senate's 50-50. It's the House that's okay. Have no feeling in my feet, but keep one foot in front of the other. Oh, yeah. When I broke my tailbone, I walked for miles with no feeling in my legs. I had to constantly look at every step I took because you can't tell if your feet are turned or not. The first time I stepped on my own foot, I don't even know how it was possible, but the front of my foot, I stepped on the front of my foot with the middle of my foot. I don't even know how the heck that was possible. But I suddenly felt pain then. Ooh. They get what they want. Yep. Got more the votes for it. And didn't have feeling in my feet when I got younger at all. Got some now. Yeah, I got it back. I think the fact that I just kept walking miles with the broken tail. Oh, I can't even tell you. It took at least 2 miles or an hour of walking before the pain would even dissipate to where I wasn't crying anymore. But I was so desperate to walk around that I just kept doing it, and I'm really grateful I did now. But I can't imagine. I mean, I do have some things from birth, but I can't even imagine not being able to hike. I guess you don't miss something you didn't have, because I wasn't close to my mother very much, and I don't think I missed it because I didn't. You can't miss something you never had, basically. Although, as a child or as a young adult, you see everybody talking about how enjoyable it is, and you crave to want to try it. I guess in a way that's missing. I'm ranting, ain't I? Yep, you have to keep going. Oh, ooh, that hurts. I've had my toenail ripped off before. Not a pleasant thing. You know what got me through it? And we talked about it this morning when we were talking about quit smoking. Is anytime I get uncomfortable, I just think of what Yeshua went through. And I'm like, if I can't get through this, how am I going to get through what's to come? And that's about the only thing that keeps me going. Is I know if I quit, it's going to be harder. My friend, she has breathing problems and a weight problem, and I talked about, they say there's a strip of land that'll raise up from our American shore over to the other continent if we had a big enough earthquake. And no, I wasn't. I'm just talking to. He thought I was talking to him. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if we can walk on dry land through the sea again? And my friend said, just leave me behind. I'm not doing all that walking. And I just laughed really hard. But I know I can get through a lot. And every time I push through something, it gives me the strength to know I can go through something else. And that's what I really love the most about walking through the pain. It's painful at the time, but man, the power you gain from it, being able to do something despite, is amazing. Yeah, I always worry what kind of things, they talk about the Holocaust. And I'm like, how much would I put up with before I bent, before I would give in? And I'd like to say I would never give in, but we never know. But the more I can push through something, the more confidence I have that I might be able to do it. Everybody said God gives you the strength you need when you need it. But having that extra bit of confidence, knowing that I can do it, man, there's a lot of power in that. So anyway, that's my spiel. This is the lower lookout point. Let's look at it again. Why not? I'm talking. I forgot where I was. We're not going to go down the 106 again, though. I'll leave that hike for another day. I am nice and warm. I'm glad I decided to go up the hang glider before the sun set, because I'd have been cold if I hadn't hiked first. These two vehicles are still here. I'm pretty sure they're out hiking. Should be back soon. Because when that sun, which is going down fast, actually gets down, it's going to be hard to see the trails. Okay, well, I'll do the opening part of the 106, but I'm not going down the trail. There's the teeth again. Oh, I'm going to miss Mingus. I wish I could be up here all year round. I wish it was warmer. I could have been outside meeting more people, but it was just too cold for me to sit outside. All right. I think even though this stick's really short, it helped with the camera. Trying to hold it the other way just caused me a lot of hand cramps. There we go. Here's a close-up of the tree blossom. I'm going to have to look up my plants for this area again. Red Cactus has been doing a lot of plants around her area. That might be a good, fun thing to do up here sometime. There is a lot of caves. Pretty sure there's lots of edible plants. You could probably hide out here if you had to. Look, something's been sleeping right in there. Huh. On a regular basis. That's interesting. All right, touch the big rock so I could show you. Here we go down. Slow view, if I can go slow. Look at all these clouds rolling in. I can see smoke from a fire in the distance. We're almost to it. There it is. I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of darker than the rest of the air. There's a fire right there in the mountains before the red hills of Sedona. Yeah, I wonder how many acres it's burned so far. Looks like it's gotten quite a bit bigger. All right, let's go up to the upper viewpoint. Jump, Wendy. See Mona. A rabbit then? Yeah, I don't know. It could be. But there's so many caves and hollowed out trees, that's kind of an odd spot. That's a really odd spot for something. Oh, I remember the year one lady lost her old dog. And he looked just like one of the dogs from camp, not Megan, but the other one was a golden retriever. And I had been at my camper and I thought it was the camp dog. And I went over to pet it and I thought, wow, I wonder why the dog's acting so weird. And it had its tail shorter. But I didn't find out later that the dog was lost. So then I'm like, wow, if I had known, could have saved her dog. She never did find it. She was up here for a couple weeks. She was only supposed to be here for a weekend, but she stayed as long as she could up here waiting, hoping the dog would come back. But we've got bear, mountain lion, javelina, bobcats, and he was an old dog. That was kind of heartbreaking. It's like people losing their pets out of Quartzsite because they won't chain them up or fence them in, or they leave them out after dark. You can find the coyote dens by all the little dog collars around it. It's like, hello, don't leave your animals unattended. And here's somebody coming up the road kicking up dust. Sun's gone down behind the trees already. Maybe not. Being old, he may have known it was his time, so he wanted. That could be too. They do have kind of an instinct for that. It's still heartbreaking. I remember having. Oh, the tree. The sun's not that far down yet. The having to put my dog down. I felt like I murdered him. I'm not even the one who took him in. I had to have a friend take him in, but he couldn't even walk without falling over. He was such a good dog. Never complained. I would push a pill up to him and he would take it. He wouldn't even argue. I wouldn't have to force him. I'd just push it, give him that look, and he would take it. He would walk past other dogs, and they'd be growling and ready to fight, and he'd just act like they didn't even exist. But I haven't had a pet since that. I can't stand the thought of watching something happen to it. Maybe when I know I only got a couple years, I'll get one. Then the dog would be sad. Ooh, we got a campfire going on here. These are just tent-only sites. I wonder, I'm going to walk up that way. I wonder what the view is off of one of these. Because I am almost betting that I could camp in one of these spots one time if it had a good view off the cliff. I'd have to back in though. I don't like that. I kind of like the pull through spots. When you had bad depth perception, backing up is very difficult, especially with a smaller trailer. The bigger trailers are better from what I heard. Let's see, I don't think there's a good view from here, but I'll go up and check it out. Yeah, not one of the valley, but make a pretty sunset spot. There's a meadow up behind here. Oh, is this the official hiking trail? Probably. There we go. Yeah, it looks down into the meadow in the canyon. Let's see if we can see any deer down in there, though. This is part of a hiking trail coming up here, too. I think this is the shortcut from the tent camping to this trail. Yep, it goes down into that canyon down there. Don't know if you could see it. But you could follow these all along this trail. I think this is just the shorter one. It used to have info on the signs, but it don't anymore. But I don't want to go down into that canyon as the sun's going down. Not a good idea. But I do want to peek and see if there's deer down in there. Let's go this way and peek down in. Nope, not seeing any deer. Okay, let's go back to the road. Something about evening that makes me Evening and morning makes me all sniffly. Okay. Something lives under that rock. Don't really want to find out what. Let's go around it. Poking around, a good way to find snakes. I don't want to find them. Not that way. Okay. Lucy dies and you're a chihuahua, you're going to dig a hole, climb down, and put her in your lap and start filling the hole back up. Yeah, it feels like that sometimes. I taught my daughter how to back up. Well, no, I know how. It's my vision and my depth perception that causes the problem. I can't judge the distance. Some days I can get it, like I'm a pro. Other days I can't get it with 500 turnarounds. And if it's a tight spot, I'm not even going to try because I'm going to wreck something. Because I can't tell how far away I am from it. Even backing the truck up without the camper is a little bit difficult. So it's not about not knowing how. I know how to back it up. It's about my depth perception, not being able to judge the distance. There's not a lot of solar in this spot. If you like a real shady spot, these tent spots are ideal. But with my solar, I need partial sun. So there's another camp host spot. They used to have several camp hosts here. They had one for this tent area, one for the day use area up here, and then one up at the campground. Now they just have one at the campground. She does the work all by herself now. Her husband used to help, but he became the fire tower person. He helps when he can now. Such a nice couple. I like hanging out with them. If there was, wait, I thought, she does it by feel. Oh, bang. Yeah, when I hook up my camper, I'll line it up. And when I get it lined up straight enough, then I'll slowly edge into it until it bumps my license plate cover. I have a plastic license plate cover over my license plate specifically for that reason. So I can back up and it'll just bounce without hurting anything. If there were ever a time for you to find a snake, it be while I'm in the chat. Could likely tell us what it is. Well, the only snakes I've seen up here are rattlers. I haven't seen any others. And there's one that's group camping down here. There's one that likes to hang. Oh, look at that. A different flower. Haven't seen these blossoming up here yet. I gotta put the bag down there and go fall in front of the camera. There we go. Get close enough to look at the leaves on it. There we go. It doesn't even look real. I have to touch it just to find out now. Oh no, it's real. It looks like a paper flower. I'll probably get a snapshot of it from the chat and do a Google search on it. That's the first larger flower I've seen up here since I've been here. I bet you in another month everything's going to be blossoming, including the sunflowers up at the camp. And there's another yellow one. You know what? I bet you these don't open till evening. That's probably why I didn't see them. Be really cool if you found a banded rock rattlesnake. Oh, the rattlesnake I did see up here that hangs out at the group camp is huge. You see how wide this road is? He took up half the road. In fact, I'll show you the spot I had to stand and wait for him to cross. It was right about here. And he was coming out of that group camp down here. And I waited like maybe 15 minutes for him to cross the road. I wasn't about to find out if he was testy. He was probably pretty full, though. He was moving slow. So he came up over these rocks here. I highly doubt he'd be out. It's way too cold. But I looked for you, okay, reptile? Primrose? Maybe. I love how these picnic tables are in a circle for this group camp. All right. Well, here's an interesting view. These trees look like they're dying, but they're not. They're just starting to get their leaves. And then it'll fill up and I won't be able to get such a good view through here. Look at all these clouds. I can still see the smoke up on that ridge. It's over this way, just past the trees on my right. Wow. And then we've got trees that aren't going to make it. Somebody's firewood. It's probably a western diamondback. I can't think of any other rattlers that would get that big there. Oh, the other ones weren't as big. I think it's just because he had access to the group camp, which was a lot of food. They normally don't get that big up here. That's what surprised me the most about it. And I know you give a pet enough food, some of them will outgrow their normal size. Because I used to keep my fishing worms in the fridge. One time they spilled and I thought I got all the worms. And I'm not a good housekeeper. Well, I wasn't then anyway, because I had too much to take care of. But he was down there eating all the stuff that I'd gathered at the bottom of the fridge. By the time I found him a couple months later, he was huge. Made me want to go fishing right away. But yeah, he was well beyond the size of a normal earthworm. So yeah, sometimes given enough access to food, they can get bigger than they normally should be. But I don't know, it could be a western diamondback. I'd like to get back out to the date farm. They got a lot of sidewinders out there. Those aren't no fun to mess with. Thank you for holding. Was I holding for you, Chris? Another alligator pine. Looks like something was tied around it for a while. Interesting. I don't really see any carvings on it. Oh, here's one. Somebody tried to carve on it. Somebody used a Sharpie, though. Barb did. I wonder if that's the same Barb I know. Never know. All right, here we are at the viewpoint. Up there's the hang glider thing I was at. All we have here where I am is Western Diamondbacks and Prairie Rattlers. Yeah, I haven't. I used to know all the wildlife when I was in Pennsylvania, and I knew some out here a long time ago, like 20 years ago, but after the kids left home, I stopped retaining that kind of knowledge. I stopped retaining a lot of knowledge. That is a big fire. I thought it was towards Flagstaff, but it's not. Flagstaff's that way with the mountains. I don't know where that is. I'm going to have to look up the fire map. That is one dark cloud. Sloan said the other night he could actually see the fire on the edge. I don't know if we'll be able to see that or not. Trying to figure out how. Oh, there's the moon peeking through the clouds. Okay, so I'm going to see. Is there a way to put this phone on something? It's got a post. I could stick it into something. So I want to start up the other phone and replace the little. Yeah, go to that other picnic table. See what's up that way. Yeah, I don't see anything I could put the post into. Kind of hold the view. Going around, I'll take a big step. Don't see anything. Put it on. Yep, it's a nice view. I got a tree in my way up here. Dang it. That's all right. All right, so what I'm going to do is take the camera out of this. Try to put it on the stand. Dig out the other camera because I'm going to use the iPhone. It has more resolution. There's a law they should make. If you do dumb to keep your fire under control while camping, then maybe you shouldn't be allowed to go camping. Yep, that's the way it should be. I've seen so many people walk away from campfires. I had some couple camp next to me one year and they walked away and went down the hill to go do something. And I'm like, seriously? They left their food out and everything. Oh, I guess I highlighted it. One just north of Flagstaff and one south on the east side of I-17. Oh, thanks. Need some sleep. Great view. Good night, Wendy and fellow Earthlings. Good night, Howie. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to go to YouTube. I want to go. I have to use a completely different browser with the iPhone because it don't like the Brave browser. What chat is what? I need the dashboard, not that. It won't let me click it. Fine. It's gonna make me type in the whole thing. It won't let me put the book. Oh yeah, it did. Never mind. Nope. Oh, here you go. Enter the studio. See how much more color I get on that camera? Yeah, I know. I have the two phones close to each other, and I forgot to turn the volume down on this one first. Now I can look at the chat with this one and let that one just do the valley below. All right, you got a choice. Do you want me to? Wow, look at that fire just burning away. Do you want me to stay up here with the tree in the way, or do you want me to go down where I can get with no trees? Kendrick Prescribed Fire Project, June 1st on Williams. Oh, that's up by Williams. You know whose IP was Italian Princess is going up towards Ash Fork, which is up by Williams. Clint's well, that's yeah. I'm glad I didn't head up the Flagstaff yet. That's not the Flagstaff one though, because Flagstaff is the mountains to the left. That's got to be the other fire. That might be Williams Ranger, but I don't think it's the town of Williams. I'll have to look it up. Split screens and everything. Oh, yeah. We're going to flip for it. Mona likes the tree. I could. If I had another stand, I could put the other phone face the other direction. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oops, the camera's the wrong way. Hold on. The camera. There you go. Split screen. Look who's alive. It's Mechanic Eric. Oh my gosh, it's been months. How you been? wonder if I could face that towards where the sun's going down at. Ah, it's not working that well. I need to get an extra stand. Oh, yeah, that wasn't good. We'll just do the, or I could show it. That's not that. All right, let's turn the camera around. Every time I show my face and say, hi, Mona. Camera facing back. There we go. And there's the sun setting in that direction. We've been asking if Eric's alive for the last, 2 weeks almost. Getting ready to leave Mingus tomorrow. Been up here for 2 weeks. Oh, working long hours. Yeah, I remember doing that this winter. Wasn't long hours, but it was painful. Well, at least you're being active. That's good. It's good news that you haven't died. I am going to go down to the other picnic table. Let me start collecting the gear here. Oh, I can put this back on that little stick thing. My broken stick. You were wondering if he fell off the planet. Yeah, I didn't know what happened. But that's good news. At least nothing really terrible's happened. I am going down to the Prescott Valley and will sleep in my truck cab for a night at a place I got to park so I can get my Grand Slam breakfast for free. Friday's my big 0 birthday. Woohoo. I know yours is the next month. Actually, I'm going to put it on the wall so we can see the fire too. There we go. Now we'll veer off in the direction of where the sun used to be a couple minutes ago. I'm not an AI pretending to be Mechanic Eric. Wink, wink. But I went up to the hang glider and I had no signal, so I couldn't show too much. It was sad. And the sun set that way, so I'm not even going to show that camera anymore. Let's go back to the solo view of the valley. There we go. Oh, I have to put this down. So which fire did you say was east, Mona? The one not in Flagstaff? Can't get this out of the holder. So my trip to Washington had to get canceled. All of it went to the truck. I've got 4 brand new tires, all new brakes, new drums in the rear, new cylinders in the rear, motor mounts, spark plug wires. Then my valve to my gas can was stuck open, which I think was part of when I got the MAF. I think that was part of the problem for that. So I got that. The truck bed's all tightened back up. Apparently it was coming loose. So I tossed a ton of money. Every dime I had saved for my trip to Washington went to, and I had to get new bearings and seals on the camper. Streaming in the truck. Was a mess last year. So busy, I really just been working and sleeping, not really been doing anything worth streaming. Yeah, life gets like that, but you're working towards something and you'll have the freedom eventually. I'm thinking of camp hosting. I haven't heard back from them, but I'm headed to Wilhoit next, and oh, it's near Clint Wells. That's probably the one we're seeing. Ooh, we're getting color on top of the clouds. I'm glad we got clouds today before I had to go down. It's been way too clear for any good colors. So I'm going to on Friday after my Denny's thing. I'm going to be driving through Granite Mountain Pass from Prescott into Wilhoit, but I'm not going to be live streaming it because I don't want the black screen when the signal's gone. I'd rather people get to see the whole drive, and it's supposed to be cloudy, and going through there is beautiful when it's cloudy. I love it. It's almost like driving through Zion National Park, which is very pretty too. Lightning caused the wildfire. Oh, they must. Oh, they did have storms that way last night. Yeah, it looks like it's burning a lot. That's a lot of smoke. The controlled burns were what, a tenth of an acre, and I barely saw any of it. I mean, it caused a haze, but you didn't see the big brown clouds. My first, what, 4 or 5 days up here on the mountain was all rainy, but it cleared in the evenings. Sounds like you have put a lot of work into the truck. I hope it was, yeah, it was necessary. Trust me. I've been trying to get that first mechanic to look at my brakes for a long time, and all he does is take it for a roll and say, I don't hear anything. Well, they were screaming. So, yeah, the cylinders were leaking. The drum was all wore down because they didn't get changed when they needed to be changed. Yeah, probably not. I am getting more RPMs going uphill, but that could just be because he fixed that valve for the gas tank, which I'm hoping is the problem. I get so nervous when something doesn't run the way it used to. It's like, now what happened? But yeah, I'm hoping it just, if I just keep taking care of it like this, it might make it till I'm done. We'll see. But I got a new mechanic. The other one's still my friend, but I got a new mechanic and he's really good. He shows me he takes pictures of everything, shows it all to me, gets the work done on a timely basis. I don't have to wait months. The first guy, when I called him, I said I'd like to set up a time to get it done. He's like, well, I don't work that way. And I said, well, I only have about 2 weeks max. I was only supposed to be there 1 week. And 2 weeks gone by and he ain't done nothing except change the spark plug wires. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'm tired of it. So I went and paid the other guy more money and had it done, everything done in 2 weeks. Controlled burns get out of control. They get out of control up here sometimes too when the winds kick up. Wow, you had a bad fire in New Mexico last year. Oh, it'd be nice if I could come back up here next month to see all the blooms. Oh, there's a little birdie down there. Let's direction my camera? Oh, you wouldn't be able to see him. He's too tiny. Blends in with the dirt. Yeah, I'm just grateful there's no rain. But yeah, I'm glad the wind went down. It was pretty windy this afternoon. It was windy this morning. I was afraid the phone was going to blow off the edge. I had a rock propped up in the front of it to hold the way, hold it from being blown around. So I don't know where I'm doing the sunrise from tomorrow. I might do it from right here. Bring my sleeping bag. I got my winter coat and my sleeping bag with me in case I stay out here long enough. What is the cost there? Oh, up here on the campgrounds, $10 a night. But if you have a senior pass, which costs money to buy, or you get a disabled pass, which is free, you can camp for $5 a night. And I wish I'd have known that when I first started coming up here. I've been paying full price all those times. All right, good night, Chris. I'll see y'all later. And there's that black car again. They went up to they were at the first lookout point, the viewpoint. Wilhoit's about 100-mile drive through the windy Granite Mountain Pass. But it's a nice leisure drive. I really like that drive because you're really only going about 35. You get people on your tail trying to speed home from work or go to work, but if you go the right time of the day, it's a very relaxing drive. And I figure if I go right after lunch, I should be good. Or after my breakfast. What is my Cash App? I think I canceled it when my wallet got stolen down in when I went down to Yuma. But I can text it to you if you still have the same text number that you didn't respond to when I asked if you were alive. Hi. We got some people checking out the view. I'm sorry, I'm noisy. I'm screaming with people. Okay. I'll text it to you, but that now gets reported to SSI now too. So I'll just text you after. Do you still do you still have the same number? I'm waiting for a yes or a no. Mona's laughing. The water pink. The sun's already below the clouds. I think it's already down. No, I see color the other direction. Okay. All right. At least we know you're alive. Because when I texted and didn't get a response, I was like, all right, what's up with this? But all right, I'll text. I did see this thing. One of the airlines is doing an unlimited flying pass for like $399. I'm like, if I can get that when I had after I go out the court site, I could like travel like crazy this winter, make up for all the places I didn't get to go. You was in a funk and didn't. Yeah, that's why I checked because I was thinking about the funk, and I'm like, nobody's heard from them. What's going on? Okay, I won't take it personal. But you could just do a thumbs up next time, just for reference. You won't have to talk or anything. Just thumbs up so we know you're alive. That would be helpful. And I waited a couple months to check too. What difference did that make? I don't know.
Life changes too much these days. It's too easy to get into a funk. I was in a funk. That's why I ended up taking that waitress job and working my butt off and swelling up my liver and ruining my heart murmur because I was in a funk too. But I'm out of it for the most part. Now it's just recovering. I'm able to walk around without running out of breath now. It took me 3 weeks being in Mesa and not working, just laying around before I could finally just breathe normal again walking around. It was crazy. But they canceled my telehealth, so I don't even know what's going on. There's J Pool. It's a good thing. Yeah, work helps a little bit, but when you don't have any time to do anything but work and sleep, it can bring a funk back. But it's better than sitting around and thinking about the funk the whole time. Yeah. Did you did you watch Mona's lives or the Memorial Day sunrise I did, Eric? Mona got some bad news. Yeah, health does that. Anything negative does it. It releases all that cortisol and it just builds up and causes worse health problems and it just gets worse and worse. It spirals. The only way out is to just keep stretching for positive. It seems everybody's going through health issues. It could be crap there's raining down on us from the skies. You never know. Wow, there's a lot of clouds coming up from the left. We're going to have a gorgeous sunrise. I think when Sloan, my buddy, came up to the mountain and I started doing some hiking up here, I started feeling a little bit better too. We went on there's an old part of the 9035 trail up here, and he had been searching it for years. It's not marked well. It's not really not walkable. You slide down a lot of parts of it. But we hiked that. That was fun. And then we went down to the Geronimo cabin. No, if you've not seen me in chat, then I have not been here. Well, I don't know what all chat you go to, but yeah, doctor's tomorrow and Friday, and yeah, I scheduled all mine for the 19th and 20th, so I'll probably get as many as I can in before I leave the valley again. But I did not get a call from the heart specialist, and I'm wondering if I just call my old clinic if they might have the referral sitting there and just forgot to call or something. But I know they're going to want to do that tilt table test again. But the important one is getting to the liver doctor and finding out where I'm at with that. You're glad your colonoscopy was. Oh man, I refuse to do those. I'd rather die of cancer than have another one of those done again. Horrible. And I don't think I'm going to end up getting anything treated. I just want to find out where it's at. I am going to the dermatologist for the spot on my face, but I think that could be something as simple as a gel, so no surgeries needed. Here's Mona's. I'll put it up on the screen. That's her news. Well, I meant afterwards or something, but you're probably not even watching any lives, not even any videos after the fact either. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what took my gallbladder out, well, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. I wasn't able to have tomatoes or cheese for like 10 years after, but I can have some now. I still have trouble drinking alcohol though, but that's not it's not a necessity, so I'm good with that. I think making my bread from the wheat kernels and grinding it myself has made a big difference in a lot of stuff too. But Mona did a really powerful speech at the end of the Memorial Day sunrise. We did Sea to Shining Sea. We had Aruba Dive Girl in Florida, and Carrie Musings was in Florida over the water. And then we had Mona, and then I, and we did all the sunrises and the split screen and other screens. But at the very end of it, Mona did an amazing speech. It was powerful. Oh no, no taters. Oh no, how do you live without taters? Actually, I've been out of taters for a week. I was going to bring more and I just didn't. I would be very interested in some of that stuff. You were talking about making soap and foraging plants and stuff. That would be really awesome, Mona. I mean, we even got distracted. I didn't even play my little cartoon guys I made up just for the stream. I did post them afterwards, though. I like the one about swimming on Memorial Day. The kid's face is all white because he's frozen. Mona even had from her sunrise there was chemtrails coming out like rays of the sun almost. We had the chemtrails, and then she had a halo, and then she said she has horns holding up her halo, and that's when we started seeing the chemtrails. It was kind of funny. I'm getting on my hood and my coat. Oh, the big screen. I think I'll do that when I get to my friend's house. I don't. I think the friend in Mesa though, because I don't think the one in Wilhoit they're gonna want it. She's got family living there, and it's gonna be very busy place. Not as quiet as it used to be, but I'll be able to do it when I'm in Mesa and see it on big screen. I still haven't looked at all the pictures that Game Dev took either. Did he finish the slideshow for that yet? Do you know? All right. Bye, Eric. Thanks for stopping in, letting us know you're still out there. You too. Rest well. Glad you're okay. Have it checked. Yeah. I haven't turned on my laptop because I've been enjoying the heck out of my bread. And I just thought it would be too cloudy this morning, although it wasn't. but I could have turned it on last night, checked it out, but I didn't know. It'll definitely be too cloudy tomorrow to turn on the laptop. What did you ask me? Me? I don't remember now. Oh, I was asking everybody if Game Dev got the slideshow. He was going to do a slideshow of all the pictures. I haven't gotten to look at them on the big screen yet. My laptop big screen. I may do that when I get to the Prescott Valley. I can sit in a Denny's or some. Well, when I get down there tomorrow, I could. I'm gonna have to go out to eat dinner because I can't cook in my truck cab. So I might go somewhere where they have a Wi-Fi signal and look at the pictures. Not yet. Yeah, I'll probably look at them tomorrow because I'm gonna have to go out and have a dinner anyway. Well, I'm glad we don't have to worry about him now. There's a tiny bird in that tree. I don't know if you could see it or not on the camera. My view is really tiny. I can't see it. Wait, maybe if I turn it this way. Nope. A little bigger. I did save some morsels to try to tempt the raven tomorrow morning. There's a light flashing down there. I think down in whatever, I think that's cottonwood that's directly below me. There's a flashing light that's starting. I think it starts at sunset, flashes all night. So I could see it when I come down for the sunrise. It's still flashing, then it'll stop. I hear the birds talking to each other. I hear one come from the other end, and the other, they're talking mighty fast. That little clicking sound you hear, if you can hear it at all. Wow, look at those clouds. It's going to be a gorgeous sunrise. I can't see the smoke from the fire anymore. It's gotten too dark to see it over there. But I'm not seeing any flames. So it must not be on the top of the ridge there anymore. What would be really cool is if these clouds are lower in the morning and we could be over the top of them. Outer marker for airport, maybe flash in red light. It's flashing. Oh, it could be the airport down there because it's green on one side and red on the other. That could very well be it. Except the airport's farther to the left, and there's a lot of buildings around it. It could be a railroad crossing. That's a possibility. it's starting to get pretty dark, so I've got to walk up the hill. So I'm gonna stop this phone, carry the other one up in the holder. Cow. Okay, this is the one with the mic on, so sorry about the rustling. Get in the holder. There we go. And we'll start the walk up, but let's do a nice slow 360. Oh, I see guest. Hold on. Nope, that's just me, and I left already, so. There we go. See how dark it's starting to get over here? I'm learning to move the camera slower. Look at me. Woohoo. Okay, well, I'm not cutting live until I walk up to the camper. We can enjoy the little walk up. I'm just thinking I might be able to catch one of the mule deer or something. And there we go, back to the valley again. And that's the 360. And let's go walk up the mountain, or the hill. We're already up the mountain. Got my winter coat on. I mean, I have a flashlight with me, but I'd rather not wait till it's that dark. There's another one. Do primroses open up only at night? Because they are all open now, and I didn't see them earlier. Oh, wow. I need to turn up the screen brightness. I can't see. Oh, it's all the way down. No wonder. Oops. Ah. Now I can see the chat. Nice 360. Thank you. I practiced moving the camera slower. You think so? Yeah. I think if I come up here again this year, I'm going to do a bunch of stuff on the edibles. And some of the other plants. And the sunrise and the sunflowers at the camp will be beautiful. Oh, I love that moon. I don't think I have the camera in the holder very well. Moving. There we go. I've been too noisy for the deer to come up this way. Tempts to go down the church camp, but it's getting dark. What's nice about my camper in the back window is if I crack it open, I can peek out there and watch the stars and the moon without having to get up. I love that window. I'm so glad I thought of putting the windows in this camper. Kind of missed it in the first camper. Yep, they bloom at night. Okay, thank you. I smell a campfire. I'm not seeing any deer though. I thought that was a rabbit, but it wasn't. Oh, Look at that moon. We gonna have a full moon next week? Oh, I think maybe I'll time my next trip up here to be up here for a full moon. I wish I could have talked to my friends into coming up here for Sukkot. They want to do a big Airbnb. I'm like, how fun is that? Not much. Although I did like the stays I did in Yuma. I think I did 2 Airbnbs this last winter down in Yuma. I had my wallet stolen on the second trip. Not so good. Ooh, look, you can see a campfire for the trees. A campfire up at my old camp spot. Primrose. The pic looks just like it. Okay, cool. It close up. It kind of looked like a paper flower. I had to touch it. I've seen primroses before, but they were usually the white variety. And they were smaller. Somebody chopped a tree right there. Then let's do a walk around the campground. I'll take the long way up so we can check it out. It's pretty full. For a week. I know a couple campers pulled in, large ones, hoping to get my campsite tomorrow. 2 of them stopped to check and see when I'm checking out. So there's the moon. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't click the link from StreamYard. I'll go back to YouTube and click it later. I've noticed they've gotten the comments up sooner. Like the Memorial Day sunrise one was up before the day was over. The chats, I mean. Okay. Here's our signs. My very first year up here. Where is it? Oh, it's by the bathroom. Let me go back and show you that sign. Tell you my little story. So I'm checking out all these signs. And then I see this one. And I look down and there's a big poop right under the sign. This grass isn't usually here, but we had a rainy year. And if you didn't know it, you would have thought it was bear, but it was cow. But I thought it was hilarious. I think lots of things are hilarious and they're really not, but I don't care because it entertained me. So anyway, these are the same signs here on this board. I don't need to stop and check it out now. Oh, the moon through the trees. Hit the like and share. Oh, thank you. Laughing. Oh, I don't do campfires because I don't like the job of putting them out. I haven't met very many people because I haven't sat outside this year. But look at how pretty campfires are. I love them. I just quick glance. I don't want to invade people's privacy, but I want to see a fire. That's that large camper that parked over by me at first, trying to see when I'm leaving. Well, these two spots are pretty sunny. They're great for solar this time of year. They won't be later on this year, though. The inner circle's open. That campfire makes me feel warm just looking at them. I think there's like 4 campsites open in the middle. The rest, everything else is full up. The moon's going behind clouds. I wish this camera would do really well at night. It would be fun to get the stars, but it won't pick up any stars, not even Venus. It did in Quartzsite, but for some reason it's not doing it up here. And these are the prime camp spots from 5 to 11. We all have a backyard view of the valley. And the one right beside me has the bench. Ooh, my hand's starting to freeze. Ooh, look at the lights up around that campsite. That's pretty. This guy beside me is doing some truck camping. Got the truck in there sideways so you can get a view of the valley in the morning, I guess. As long as you're on the pavement, you're good. Or driveway. It's not really paved. It's rocks, actually. Here we go. I'm pretty sure you recognize this camper. Okay, guys. I'm going to end the live. Get my truck and stuff locked up. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. I am going to do a sunrise. Because it's going to be cloudy and pretty. So thank you again for joining me. Night, night.